This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. There's plenty to be thankful for. Your friends, family, and the fact that you can now get NFL Sunday Ticket for only $89. So thank yourself this holiday season and watch every game every Sunday when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Offer ends December 2nd. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Rated T to M. Hey, want to hear a PC Game Pass ad? I'll take your silence as a yes. Want new games on day one like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 or Stalker 2? I thought so. How about unlocking all the League of Legends champions when you link your Riot Games account? All for one low monthly price? Well, guess what? We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass or click the banner. Stalker 2 available November 20th, 2024. Game catalog varies by region and over time. And that's the end of the script.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Hello and welcome to ZPG Ice Maidens, the only dedicated Women's National Ice Hockey League podcast.
Part of the ZPG network of UK ice hockey podcasts.
We're in partnership with
the Hockey Archive, hockey clothing for hockey people.
Worn by the best
and hated by the rest.
Listen to the ZPG network.
Get a 10% discount on everything
at hockeyartclothing.co.uk.
Just enter the code ZP10 on checkout to get your discount.
We're also part of the Sports Social Podcast Network,
the biggest sports podcast network in Europe.
Boasting over 450 podcasts
for more than 15 different sports.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode on ZPG Ice Maidens. Last week we told you about how GB's preparations for next month's Olympic qualifiers at Ice Sheffield. Well, this week they named their roster for those games. The usual goaltending tandem of Nicole Jackson and Ella Howard are included, so no real surprises there. And that was along with a very familiar set of defenders. Queen Bee's pair Abby Sylvester and Ellie Wakeling, along with Guildford's Beth Hill and Whitley Bay's Casey Trail, have all been named, while Lucy Beale, who is playing in the NCAA with King's College, and Ellen Reese of Newark Ironbound are also included. The only new name on the blue line will be that of Solihull's Maddie Wright, who receives her first senior call-up after spending last season as one of the reserves. Solihull's top line of Jodie Alderson-Smith, Katie Henry and Laura Horwood are all in, as you would imagine, along with Rachel Cartwright, Katherine Gale and Ellie Wallace of the Queen Bees. For Henry, it represents a return to GB after taking a year off, while a fourth Vixens forward gets a first call-up in the form of Nova Scotia-born Robin Mullen. Kingston's Katie Marsden and Whitley Bay's Ruby Newlands complete the WNIHL contingent, while Amy Headland, who last played for Norwich University last year, and Charlotte Harris, who was with Connecticut College, are in, along with former Carleton University forward Emily Harris and Sunny Canton player Shamini Jackson, who both received recalls after missing out on the World Championships back in April. As for the players who missed out, Whitley Bay pair Steph Towns and Abby Korshaw were the most surprise omissions, as was Kingston's Lizzie Saunders after she netted in Latvia at the Worlds. Canadian-born defender Jamie Andrizzi is on maternity leave, so she was always going to miss out on this occasion, while USA-based Ellie Patrick and Chloe Needham-Potts were the others who went to Latvia but miss out this time. So, as always, we start our weekly roundup in the Elite League, where Kingston Diamonds led for most of their game at home to Streatham Storm last Saturday, but would end up on the wrong side of a 2-1 scoreline when the South London side scored twice in the final 3 minutes. Mia Forbes had given the Diamonds a lead at 15-18, with Kiana Tate and Katie Marsden getting the assists, but Storm goalie Julia Bevan made 29 saves to prevent the Diamonds from adding to their lead and to form the foundation for her side to complete a late comeback. Maria Murray netted at 57-13 with Izzy Whiteley and Jo Lee Hao Chong collecting the assists. Then 90 seconds later, Ange Taylor fired home the winner from Zuzana Dobrovolna to steal the points. Kingston's Georgia Ashton made 41 saves. Solihull Vixens were made to work hard for their latest win against the Guildford Lightning, despite giving themselves a comfortable 3-goal lead early on. Jodie Alderson-Smith scored just 17 seconds into the game after she put home from Erin Roach and Tamara Donoghue. The GB captain scored again in the 11th minute when Katie Henry linked up with her. Vixens goalie Donoghue collecting another assist, so getting 2 on the first 2 Vixens goals. Henry made it 3 before the period was over when Alderson-Smith and Hannah Ware combined. Guildford did pull a goal back 7 minutes into the middle session when Beth Hill scored, but the Vixens soon restored their 3-goal advantage when Alderson-Smith notched their hat-trick marker. However, within seconds of that goal, the Lightning scored again, Keely Walsh netting to ensure her side still had something to play for in the third period. When Beth Hill bagged her second of the game a minute after the restart, the Surrey club thought they might just be able to take something from the game. But Katie Henry scored twice soon after to record her own hat-trick, both goals assisted on by Jodie Alderson-Smith. Izzy Zizinska pulled one back with 7 minutes to play, with May Sullivan assisting on that goal. But that's as close as the Lightning would get, as the Vixens held on for another win. In just 8 games, the Vixens' top line have combined for 76 points, which is a truly staggering amount this early into the season. Katie Henry has 19 goals, which again is quite simply phenomenal, and 30 points to begin the season with. While Jodie Alderson-Smith has 14 goals and 29 points, Laura Horwood has 7 goals and 17 points. Sarah Hutchinson was Solihull's player of the game, with Beth Hill taking home the award for Guildford. The Whitley Bay Beacons were left with a late sting from reigning league and playoff champions Queen Bees last Saturday. They made the long journey down to Slough with 8 forwards and 5 defenders. Steph Towns and Abby Coulshaw were joined on the top line, with young defender Heidi Dunn for the first few shifts before she moved back to her natural position on the blue line. Danielle and Claire Turnbull both rotated in after that. Becky Caston-Wood centred the second line with Danielle Turnbull and Jess Bridger, while Claire Turnbull led the third line with Amanda McWilliams and Emily Luck. Joining Heidi on the blue line was Caitlin Morrison, Caitlin Stocks, Jade Cito and Vicky Smith, with Sam Bolwell starting in goal. As to be expected when you take on a side with the kind of quality the Queen Bees hold, the Beacons were outshot in the opening period, home side edging it 10-2. However, what those stats don't tell you is just how hard the Beacons worked, matching their illustrious opponents with their skating and preventing their top players from creating too many goal-scoring opportunities. Those chances the Queen Bees did create were dealt with well by Sam Bolwell, who was in top form throughout the game. The second period was much the same, with the home side again outshooting the Beacons, this time 15-6, but still the Queen Bees were left frustrated as they couldn't force the puck home. But with less than 5 minutes to go in the middle session, the Queen Bees did find the net. Unfortunately for them, it was into their own, as defender Miley Drazy was unable to prevent a Beacon shot from looping in off her stick to wrong-foot goalie Mackenzie McNamara. It was perhaps more than a little fortunate for the Beacons to take the lead in that manner, but then they have had plenty of bounces go against them this season. The goal was eventually credited to Caitlin Morrison, with Abby Coulshaw getting the assist. The final period saw the Queen Bees apply yet more pressure as they looked to force an equaliser. This time they outshot the Beacons 17-7, but Bolwell was proving unbeatable in the Beacons' net. The Beacons very nearly doubled their lead late on, when Steph Towns saw her shot look set to cross the line, but Mackenzie McNamara came out of nowhere to get across her line and clear for what was a great save. It's often moments like that where you look back and say perhaps that was the turning point in the game. A 2-goal advantage would have all but made it safe for the visitors, but an unbelievable save changed all that. Then, with a little over 8 minutes remaining, the Beacons were given a power play when Rachel Cartwright was called for high sticking. Whitley were able to run down a lot of the clock with possession kept inside the offensive zone, but with tired legs out on the ice, the Queen Bees were able to clear the zone and then apply some pressure of their own in the Beacons' end. With just 2 seconds left on the power play, Katherine Gale was able to force home a rebound to tie the game up with 6:19 remaining in the game. The disappointment was palpable, but a minute later, Whitley called a timeout to give the team a chance to regroup and refocus. However, 40 seconds later, the Queen Bees took their first lead of the game. Sam Bolwell did brilliantly to block an effort from Katherine Gale, but with the Beacons goalie at full stretch, she was unable to get back up and prevent the GB international forward from putting home her own rebound for her second of the game. There was a lengthy stoppage after that goal, with Bolwell requiring some treatment, having hurt herself in the act of making the first save. She was clearly in some discomfort, but opted to see out the remaining minutes. Queen Bee scored a third goal a minute later when Ellie Wallace rifled home from an acute angle, adding what was quite literally insult to injury. The Beacons were minutes away from recording a famous victory against a quality side. All they needed was a bit more luck. Perhaps the highlight of the game was seeing the collective performance from the team, with every single player putting in a great shift to go along with the commitment of the lasses, with some having travelled from as far away as Glasgow and Aberdeen the night before to meet the 4:30am bus departure. After the game, I got to catch up with Queen Bee's 2-goal hero, Katherine Gale, where she had this to say. Welcome to Ice Maidens, where today I'm catching up with Queen Bee's forward and GB international, Katherine Gale. So, first of all, Katherine, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you.
Well, a 3-1 win for the Queen Bees, but it wasn't as probably comfortable as you would have liked.
No, it wasn't. It was very close. I think we had a lot of opportunities, and we were in the Whitley Bay end quite a lot, but we just weren't able to get through. Sam Bolwell, she was solid, and we took a lot of shots, but maybe we weren't quite burying them as much as we would like, but got there in the end. Yeah, I mean, for 54, 55 minutes, Sam kept you at bay, didn't she? It was an outstanding performance. 43 shots, I think it was, that you got on the Beacons net. Yeah, she was solid, and it is tough, these games where you go, 55 minutes and we're still trying to get a goal. But I think for the team, it was good for us to keep going. We weren't changing anything drastically, but just keep trying to, push forward and get those goals. And yeah, we were lucky to get 3 at the end there, because otherwise, it was getting pretty close.
It was, yeah. I mean, probably a little bit of a fortunate go-ahead goal for the Beacons. Was you thinking at that point it just isn't going to be our day, or?
Yeah, no, exactly. And Mackenzie's been our goalie for the last few kind of matches, and she was gutted about that goal, because I didn't see it from the bench, but it sounded like it was a deflection that kind of came off a few players or sticks, and sometimes the puck doesn't bounce your way, but so unfortunate with that one, but we're happy we still got the win.
Yeah, and obviously you got the equalising goal and then the go-ahead goal. So I mean, they came. I know there was a timeout in between, but in actual game time, it was only about a minute or so apart. So 2 real big moments for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty chuffed to get those goals, but it's a team effort and everyone helped out. But yeah, those goals, I think it was just getting those rebounds. To be honest, like Bolwell made those first saves, and then I was just fortunate to be there to pick up kind of what was left over and get it in the net. So. Well, congratulations on the goals. 2 teams meet again next week with some in Whitley Bay. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on that one? Yeah, a long trip for us. Appreciate Whitley Bay travelling all the time, but for us it's a long way to go up. I think it'll be close, a home rink for Whitley Bay, and it was close today for 55 minutes. So hopefully it'll be a good match, and hopefully we'll get the win. But it'll be a close one, and we shouldn't underestimate Whitley Bay this year either. Yeah, well, safe journey obviously for that one next week. And just looking ahead, next month the Olympic qualifiers in Sheffield with GB. So I guess you're really looking forward to that one. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, great to be on home ice. It'll be a good match-up with a lot of the teams. Playing kind of Netherlands will be league above us. But yeah, some close matches, and I'm hoping there'll be lots of fans watching as well, which will be great. Well, I hope so. But see you next week, and best of luck. Awesome, thank you. On to Division 1 now, and in the north, another good victory for the Kingston Diamonds saw them with a 5-0 win over the Nottingham Vipers as they continue their unbeaten streak to start the season. Izzy Oswin netted 5 minutes in with her first goal in Division 1 to set the Diamonds on their way.
Kiana Tate set Mia Forbes up with a short-handed goal inside the final minute of that opening period to double the Hull Bay side's advantage. Things got even better just a couple of minutes into the second period when player of the game Danny Newlove netted to make it 3-0. The Beverley-born forward would make it 4 early into the final period when she netted again. Mia Forbes and Izzy Oswin, the game's other scorers, combining on that play. Diamonds captain Kets Robinson completed the scoring with just over a minute left. As mentioned, player of the game went to Danny Newlove, while Emily Johnson posted a shutout. Former Diamonds goalie Libby Bird, who was playing for the Nottingham Vipers, faced 91 shots. In the south, Bristol took on the Chelmsford Cobras, and it was the Essex club who suffered their first defeat of the season. Cobras worked hard to keep the Huskies from extending the lead and attempted to pull back the score throughout, but sadly couldn't find the back of the net, and the game ended in a 5-0 loss for them. Laura Merrick gave the Huskies the lead late in the opening period, Sarah Jane Fletcher and Molly Lehman getting the assists. Bristol scored again early into a middle session, Becky York netting on the power play 37 seconds after the restart. Becky Osman made it 3-0 early into the final period, with Ellen Pereira-Mori getting the helper. And Mila Peroni scored a late power play goal from York and Emily Benson before Jess Jones netted 43 seconds later from Peroni and Katie Edginson, so the Guildford Lightning connection there linking up well. Huskies goalie Gemma Davies posted a 25-save shutout, while Chelmsford's Kira Waddington was kept busy making 36 saves. Swindon TopCats collected their first points of the season with a 4-0 win away to Milton Keynes Falcons. Ellie Wallace gave her side the lead a minute in before converting on the power play early into the second period, Ellie Shaw getting the helper. Wallace would net her hat-trick marker at 33-24, with Lilly Endicott and Emma Comer collecting the assists. Lilly Endicott would score a short-handed goal before the period was over to ensure the Wiltshire side would register their first win of the campaign. Amelia Williams was named Swindon's player of the game. Watching the game in Milton Keynes was Ice Maidens friend Andrew Day, who recorded what was a very good report and account of the game, but also crucially caught up with two of the young stars of that TopCats team, Lilly Endicott and Ellie Shaw. And here is the interview.
I'm with Queen Bees and Swindon TopCat players, Ellie Shaw and Lilly Endicott. I'll be your Ellie, like your history and stuff.
So I started playing hockey when I was about 8 years old with Swindon Academy. Yeah, with the I was 7, yeah. So we just kind of built our way up to the academy, playing with TopCats, boys, and then now gradually got our way into the TopCats. So, yeah. Yeah, and I'm basically the same. I started when I was 7. We played mixed, literally basically the same as Ellie. We've been on the team together for quite a while. Chemistry, yeah.
Super, excellent. As I know, both you got brothers also in the NHL National. Do you both get to see them play at all or anything?
Yeah, I pretty much go to see them play every Saturday. Unfortunately, yes, we do. We watch the stream when he's in Leeds, but yeah, they're both doing good.
Yeah, good. And do you like talk tactics between each other and get ideas and stuff? Or?
Mainly just chat to each other. Yeah, I was going to say, we're both better than our brothers, so.
We're on to today's game. How do you think it went?
I think, obviously it's hard playing against here, it's a big ice pad, so we've got to get the legs moving, but I think going into the second period we did quite well, we got going, so yeah, I think bust legs, first period was a bit slow, but once we got going we ran through in, and then we're still, I think, waiting on a bit of chemistry for the team, a bit more offense, but definitely a lot more better than last weekend or whenever it was with Chelmsford.
Yeah. And I believe you got the last one, the fourth one?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, well, I think it was on the penalty kill, was it? I think,
yeah.
Something like that. Ellie dished it up and the goalie came out and, I don't know, just went in, little, not my best of goals, but most goals.
All count, don't they? Yeah. Ellie, I think you got an assist on the second one.
Yeah, I think I did actually.
Yeah. And, you want to talk about that one at all? Oh. Cool. So, let's talk about a little bit about the Queen Bees game yesterday. How do you think about that one, Ben?
I think same for Queen Bees. slow start, but we're starting to come together again offensively, and we managed, I think it says a lot about our team, to come back in the last 4 minutes actually and get them goals to win. So it shows that we're going to right to the end. So yeah, it's really good.
I was obviously there DJing and stuff. I was watching. I thought, to me, it's a frustrating game. I don't know, you were like out shooting them, had all the control in the first and second and everything, but then also they nicked that one and stuff. What did Gareth actually say in the second period break?
I think we need to bear down, don't you think? So I think we get a lot of shots, but we need to bear down on our opportunities, and they're more well as a good goalie, but we need to just shoot to score, really. Yeah,
thank you. And I think it's your first season with Queen Bees, isn't it, this year? I think you had one game with Guildford in the Elite, but how are you finding the step up?
Yeah, I think it's really good. The intensity is much higher than recently. So yeah, it's a good challenge.
Cool. So I was also wanted to mention, I believe both of you were on the GB training camp in Dumfries. I think it was supposed to be 3 games, we weren't able to 2, didn't they, and stuff. Again, how did that go, and what sort of things did you get up to?
I think the team bonded really well, considering it's our first time playing with each other. We lost last year, so I think all the girls get along really well, and that transfers onto the ice as well. So yeah, I think we did really well.
Okay, and I believe another Queen's Bee scored one of them. For this year, both in the ski and stuff. That's good and stuff, and I think it was the Kingston player Lydia who scored stuff on the draw and stuff. Do you kind of stick with your same sort of players when you go international, or do you get mixed up a lot?
With the lines?
Yeah, the lines and stuff, yeah.
I think there's been a few, obviously it changes most years, because obviously, people are aging out and things, but you do get, like, your girls that you, like, play well with in club, or, like me and T, me and Talia, sorry. We play well together, so I think we try and get together, but there's also some girls that really click that don't go to the same teams. I think it's just whatever, really, yeah.
Got you. Quickly going back to the Queen Bees and stuff, obviously there's some internationals there. You were on the top line again, Lilly, with Katherine, Gale and Rachel Cartwright.
Yeah.
What's it like playing with them?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, like, they're 2 really fast players, and they're obviously in the junior women's squad, so it's good to play alongside them too. So.
And you do some internationals on defence as well, like Abby Sylvester. She wasn't playing yesterday, but and Ellie Wrekin. How do you find working with them?
Yeah, it's really good. They all welcome me in, and I think they take a lot of responsibility. And it's great having them on the team.
Oh, no, thank you. Just to round up with a couple sort of random questions. Do you have any sort of favourite NHL teams or favourite players?
My favourite NHL team is Canadians, and my favourite player is Katherine. Nice. Mine's the Leafs. I've been to watch them in Sweden, and I've seen William Nylander play, so I like him, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Couple of sort of random ones. What's sort of your favourite songs to hear at the rinks?
Me and Ellie like the country.
Okay, cool. What are your sort of favourite snacks when you want to travel?
Favourite snack? I love plums. I love the marshmallow plums. So good. What are you, Ellie? I don't know, actually. I like sweets. Jelly cubes. They're quite popular on the bench.
That's so cool. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for that, Andrew. Over into Div 2 now then, and in the north, the Leeds Roses finally had their home opener. It was a game of seizing opportunities for the West Yorkshire club, as they had an early title battle with the Telford Wrekin Raiders. The game opened with a couple of early penalty calls against the home side, but they successfully killed off the first penalty and were applying pressure when they took the second. Raiders' Michelle Madziak was able to capitalise late into the second power play, picking up a Jade Poxon shot from the point. Leeds responded, though, with a goal before the period was over, when Jazz Daniel gained control of the puck and took it around the net. making a pass to Sophie Lancashire, who got a shot off that trickled past Raiders goalie Alicia Jackson and stopped inches from the goal line. Lancashire was quick to jump on the loose puck to tap it in and draw the Roses back level at 1-1. The second period started with Telford quickly applying pressure as Becky Craig drove to the far post and took a pass from the quick-footed Michelle Madziak and cut across the crease, tucking it past Roses netminder Kira Daniel to give the Raiders the lead once again. There was great end-to-end action. Michelle Madziak scored her second goal of the game almost halfway through the period with a well-placed shot when she caught the Roses on a bad line change, resulting in what was a 4-on-2. Maggie Whitmore would score the fourth Raiders goal 5 minutes later, picking up a loose puck in the high slot. The home side didn't make it easy for Raiders though, and kept the pressure up with some scintillating end-to-end hockey. Telford would add a fifth goal with 2 seconds remaining in the second period, as the Raiders did well to move the puck around the zone before Becky Craig spotted Andrea Lamb open at the point, and she released a shot which Hayley Batsford-Carrington was in the right position for to tap in the rebound to make it 5-1. The third period saw the Roses outshoot their opponents 19-9, though they were unable to get another past Telford's borrowed netminder, Alicia Jackson, of the Cambridge Kodiaks. Telford's spirit of the game went to Hayley Batsford-Carrington for her great two-way hockey, while Players' Player went to Anne McLean. Rose's Player of the Game went to Sophie Lancashire, with the Players' Player going to Jenny Carter. The team's Hardest Worker award went to Sophie Lancashire as well. There was also a Roses debut for Victoria Scott. In Div 2 South, Streatham Storm came away from Gosport with an important road win. Hungarian forward Petra Kosegi gave the South London side the lead with 6 seconds left in the opening period, Amy Jackson collecting the assist. Kosegi would score again early into the middle session when she converted on the power play, before Lithuanian forward Auguste Tomasevachute and Francesca Thorogood netted 3 minutes apart. Late in the second period, Storm defender Alexis Butler was assessed a 5+ game for boarding Amazon's teenager Selena Payne. That handed Solent a power play, with Chantal Eyre scoring from Jess Banner to cut the arrears with 9 seconds remaining in the period. Amazons regrouped in the third but were unable to score again. For those concerned, Selena did get up smiling and was happy after what was a scary moment at the end of that second period. Solent Player of the Game went to captain Lucy Gates, while Amazon's goalie Charlie Thisby made 36 saves. Streatham's Giuliana Codini made 30. In Division 2 South B, Invicta Dynamics had to come from behind at home to Lee Valley last weekend after Helen Stacey and Lauren Furringer both scored for the Vampires inside the first 10 minutes. But 5 unanswered goals in the final 10 minutes of the opening session swung the game back into the Gillingham Bayside's favour. Charlotte Louise Davenport Jeffrey pulled a goal back a minute after Lee Valley had gone 2-0 up, before Scarlett Christie netted to bring the sides back level moments later. Mel Prowse collecting an assist on the play. Anna Chiara Beltrami then gave the Dynamics their first lead of the game before Robin Mapp added to the lead. Beatrice Hodges made it 5-2 before the period was over. Zanti Olwinkle-Povey scored early into a final period to bring the Vampires back to life, but Davenport Jeffrey's second of the game arrived in the final minute to put a stake through their hearts. Abby Owen made 27 saves for Lee Valley, while Invicta youngster Amy Leonard made her WNIHL debut. Moving on now to the Cup, and specifically to Southern Cup Group 3, Oxford Midnight Stars registered a huge win in their game away to Bristol Huskies. The Midnights, who play in the league above Bristol, skated off with a 13-1 win. Amy Haddon and Charmaine Coles both scored twice in the first period, with Charlie Clements and Linda Pearson also finding the net. Evie Corson did pull a goal back to temporarily make it 4-1, with Amy Parfitt collecting an assist. But it wasn't long before the Midnights added to their lead and took a 6-1 advantage with them into the second period. Lucy Dorrington and Harriet Jones scored in the middle session to make it 8-1, before Linda Pearson scored twice and Coles added another as both recorded hat-tricks. Coles would then add a fourth before Harriet Jones netted a second and completed the scoring at 13-1. There were multiple assists for Lauren Summers, Nicola Zabinska and Stephanie Jane Rance, with Iona Todd also claiming an assist. Charmaine Coles and Harriet Jones ended the game with 5 points each, with Linda Pearson registering 4 and Lucy Dorrington and Amy Haddon ending with 3. Rachel Alexander was brought on in goal for the Huskies at 30 minutes and 43 seconds, and she went on to make 36 saves. We move now to our focus on the Division 2 South and a season preview. No fewer than 4 teams have applied to join Division 2 South for this season, with the success of the London Capitals under-16 side over the past 3 years or so. It is perhaps no surprise that Haringey have opted to start a senior women's side to play out of Alexandra Palace. 6 miles down the road, Lee Valley have a brand new facility, and they have wasted little time in getting a women's team started there too. The Lee Valley Vampires have been holding trials over the summer with the aim of getting the side started in time for this campaign. And with some great people involved in the project, we are looking forward to seeing what happens there. Another team based in the southeast to apply are the Invicta Dynamics. The Gillingham-based side last played in the WNIHL back in 2019. But after spending the last few years playing in the Development League while they rebuilt, they are back. The Kent outfit were third-tier champions in 2016 and now look ready to challenge once again. Under the expert guidance of Chris Gruber, the club are a welcomed addition, with a lot of hard work going in off the ice to raise the club's profile as well. Finally, we have the Bristol Huskies too. For those of us fortunate enough to have attended the Bristol Friendship Tournament back in June, there was a sneak preview, with the Huskies having entered a team in the competition referred to as Huskies Div 2. Bit of a spoiler alert, but great to have another team with further opportunities for players. With Cardiff having been granted promotion, that left 8 existing sides in Division 1 South, along with the 4 new sides, giving a total of 12. That necessitated a split into 2 groups of 6. Division 2 South A will comprise of the top 6 sides from last season, namely Cambridge, Peterborough, Slough, Streatham, Solents and Oxford, while Coventry and Chelmsford will join the 4 new sides in Division 2 South B, which is effectively now Division 3. There will be 1 up, 1 down come the end of the season, but no playoffs for the Tier 4 division. There will, however, be a crossover cup, where the 12 teams will be split into 3 groups of 4 teams, with 2 sides from each division taking part in each group. Still with me? Well, it will work something like this. Solent and Oxford from Group A will face Haringey and Bristol from Group B, with each team playing the others in their group twice, once home and once away. It's a great way of creating more games for teams that now have a reduced regular season league schedule. We start then with perhaps everyone's favourites for promotion this year, and that's the Cambridge Kodiaks. The team, who came into the league last season, couldn't have wished for a better inaugural campaign as they clinched their playoff berth at their first time of asking. In what was always going to be a competitive Division 2 South, the Kodiaks only lost twice, away to Streatham and at home to title rivals Cardiff. Fortunately for them, most of their players have returned. Top point scorer and Player Choice Award winner was Canadian forward Christina Ashley, who led the way with an incredible 32 goals and 25 assists for a combined 57 points across 16 games last season. Ashley not only topped the Kodiaks points board, but was also top point scorer across the whole WNIHL 2 league. Top forward was Sarah Katherine, who moved across from Peterborough a year ago. The Finnish forward ended the campaign with 20 goals and 19 assists across 16 games, more than doubling her previous season's points. Katherine was a force to be reckoned with, and a leader both on and off the ice. Another Canadian was that of Alicia Anderson, who posted 19 goals and 28 points to end in third place in team scoring. A constant threat jumping in on both D and forward, Anderson was a key player. It created opportunities at every turn, which led to her being named the club's Playmaker Award. Ottawa-born Yoa Hoshizaki also returns, giving the Kodiaks plenty of quality out on the ice. A solid defender who's not afraid to drive some offence, Hoshizaki gave an amazing performance as Defender of the Year throughout the season. Fourth in team scoring was another former Peterborough player, and that was Josie Milton, who scored 12 goals and 24 points. Josie earned the Young Player of the Year award for last season and proved to be a storm on the ice with speed and tenacity. Milton was also named one to watch by elite prospects, a sentiment both the club and ourselves at Ice Maidens couldn't agree with more. Milton will play on a two-way deal with the Milton Keynes Falcons for a season as well. Others to return are ex-Chelmsford Cobras forward Ellie Goldstone, as well as former Milton Keynes Falcons pair Claire Ledbury, who was the Fans' Choice Award winner for last season, and Erin Russell, who is still on a two-way deal with the Falcons. And will be linking up there with Josie Milton, of course. Former Peterborough forward Sophie Heather was awarded the club's hardest worker last season, giving it her all through sleep deprivation from night shifts to injuries and beyond. Heather improved her game and showed the true meaning of hard work. Leicester-born Katherine Leake and Katie Cartledge, who have both made the successful transition from playing university hockey at Cambridge to that of the WNIHL with the Kodiaks. Katherine was the Coach's Choice Award winner last season, with unmatched dedication and a constant drive on the ice. Leake was a crucial player last time out and the epitome of what it means to love your sport and team. Also returning are forwards Jessica Green, Rachel Holland and Kodiak of the Year Liz Swift, who showed she had a heart of gold and a passion for her team throughout the club's inaugural campaign. And last year's most improved player, Natalia Petjovic, a learn-to-play graduate who went from strength to strength last season, never failing to step up when asked and improving by leaps and bounds. Bryony Russell comes in as a new signing for Milton Keynes, while Ruby Allen arrives from Peterborough. American-born Julia Mabry is another to arrive, having previously played for Boston College. Beth Woolson-Romano comes in from Chelmsford to help bolster the blue line, while last season's most committed player, Ronnie Manfield, is back for another year. Manfield shared that award with Katie Goodwin, who sadly won't return this year. It's all changing goal with American-born Cheyenne Vogel, or Cheyenne Overgaard, having returned home. Cheyenne was last season's MVP and topped the WNIHL 2 goalie list with a 96% save average and 6 shutouts. Cheyenne's backup last season was Nottingham-born former GB international Holly Steeples, who spent a couple of seasons playing in Iceland with Fjolnir. She too is unavailable this year, so in has come Alicia Jackson, who last played for Telford some 10 years ago now, and Cherry Hambleton, who comes in having last played for Chelmsford in 2022. Peterborough have perhaps seen more changes than most since last season. Ruby Allen has left for Cambridge, as mentioned earlier, while veterans Joanne Saville and Sue O'Sullivan, along with last season's Defender of the Year, Emily Locke, have all not returned. Slovakian-born Hanna Mesarasova and Canadian Amy Neverson will be relied upon for goals, along with leadership from captain Laura Brooks. Mesarasova was last season's MVP, as well as the Sponsors Player of the Year, while Brooks was the Forward of the Year and Players Player of the Year. Youngsters Kitty Evans, Keely Oxterby, Holly Barnes and Coaches Player of the Year Caitlin Barraclough all return, as does Sarah Rees and Hardest Worker Award winner Joanna Carter-Davis. New forwards to come in are Kayla Simmons, Elia Doig and Scarlett Shelton. Stacey Horn returns on defence along with youngster Liberty Malakovsky and last season's Team Spirit Award winner Emma McCarthy. Hannah Danks, who was voted Most Improved Player as well as Rookie of the Year, also returns along with Cody Dogood. Phoebe Maffer comes back home after a couple of years away with Kingston Diamonds, while Peyton Braylant and Rachel Mockler are new signings. Last season's goaltending tandem of Katie Plum and Sarah Q. Moss return for another year between the pipes. The Slough Sirens will rely on their veteran forwards of Tanya Bone, Emma Toos, Sharon Khan and Elise Willoughby to lead them offensively, while Carly Lilwall comes in from the Firebees. They are supported by Esther Haskins and Lucy Mathias, along with youngsters Alani Hutchinson and Molly Meggans, while Sophia Harwood steps up from the Sirens Odyssey development team. Perry Edmiston, Kerry Matthews, Hannah Martin and Dee West Attrill will lead the Sirens on the blue line, with Canadian Mallory Davis and youngster Megan Beagle. Jerry Park and Helen Oates will continue in goal. Streatham Storm can once again rely on having a large roster to help them stay competitive throughout the season. Natasha Hollingsworth and Ireland international Sinead Jennings return, while they will be supported by several international players. Lithuanian Auguste Tomasevachute and Malaysian Eunice Boone are back for another year, along with Canadians Hayley Schultz, Andrea Kireliuk and Jenna Johnson. Petra Kosegi is an exciting new signing from Hungary, while Olive Broadbank, Helen Clark and Amy Jackson are also new for this season as well. Youngsters Anya O'Kane, Abby Gray and Gemma Briggs help fill out a strong set of forward options. On defence, the classy Jazz Wilson has Elite League experience, while Francesca Thorogood and Alexis Butler are back for this season as well. Finnish defender Sara Lahti is a new signing, having previously been based on Tyneside. In goal is Canadian Juliana Codini, who was their number 1 from last season as well. The Oxford Midnight Stars have one of the smaller rosters in the league, but it's a settled lineup with plenty of experience. Charmaine Coles and Charlie Clements have one of the best scoring partnerships in the WNIHL, with the pair always top of their team scoring charts each year. They are joined on the top line by Harriet Jones. Lucy Dorrington, Amy Haddon and Nicola Zabinska form a strong second line, with the likes of Linda Pearson, Emily Patrick and Ruby Barrett in contention for a spot on the team as well. Defensively, the Midnights are led by experienced duo Nonnie Dodwell and Jay Rance. Anna Johnston and Lauren Summers also have plenty of seasons under their belts, as does Tasha Federy. Iona Todd, Ophelia Chesterman and Ruby Roach complete the defensive options. Steph Taylor returns in goal, having starred there last season. The Solent Amazons have had a busy summer. First of all, they had something of a rebrand with a new logo and a return to their original shirt colours of red and black. Then they announced that stalwart forward Chantal Eyre was returning to Gosport after a season of playing in the Elite League with Streatham Storm. The Isle of Wight-born forward was quite simply phenomenal over her previous 2 seasons with the club, racking up 58 points with 44 goals and 14 assists in just 23 games. Joining her on the top line is former Basingstoke Bison forward Lauren Kenton, who is closing in on the 200 games mark, having previously also iced with Slough Sirens and most recently the Oxford Midnight Stars. And teenager Jess Banner, who is making her senior debut for this season, completes the top line. The second line sees former Whitley Bay Beacons winger Charlie Johnson return for a second season in Gosport, along with star forward Jessica Leslie, who returns for her 8th season with the club. Jess, who has been with the club for over 10 years since first making her debut in 2010, is now entering her prime, having her best seasons to date over the past couple of years. Completing that line is Amazon's 2023 MVP award winner Lauren Dennis, who is back for a 4th season on the South Coast. A multi-sport athlete, Lauren naturally holds her position well and can read the game and dictate the play. The third line sees captain Lucy Gates return. Leading by example, Lucy orchestrates the Amazons every step of the way. Pre-training runs, changing room team talks, warm-ups, G in the team up, and game leadership. Lucy joined the Amazons in 2015 and heads into her 9th season with the club and has been captain since 2019. Selena Payne centres the line after making 15 appearances for her side last season in what was the youngsters' debut in senior hockey. And long-time Amazons winger Liz Taylor is back for her 10th season with the club. Other forward options see fan favourite Lily Mae Barkley return for a 3rd season, Lisa Collingwood come back to the sport having had a decade away, and Ice Crushers member Kelly Stevenson, who went as her 2nd season of WNIHL hockey. The defence sees Willow Oatley come in from Southampton Spitfires of the British University League to make her senior WNIHL debut. She is usually partnered with Sasha Tem, who successfully stepped up from forward onto defence a couple of years back. The second pairing sees Leah Truman return to the sport after last playing for Basingstoke Bison Ladies about 10 years ago now. She also has top-tier experience, having spent 7 seasons with the Slough Phantoms. Alongside her is former Telford Wrekin Raiders defender Courtney Clay, arrived mid-season last year. The brilliant Hannah Driver is back for her third season with the Amazons. With over 3 decades in the game, Hannah is masterful in defence, earning herself Amazons' best defender for the 2022-23 season. Originally from Basingstoke, Hannah is determined to bring Bison women's ice hockey back to her hometown one day, having played for the club from 2000 to 2013. Her D partner is usually Eleanor Stoner, who is back for her 6th straight season, having joined in 2018. Eleanor is a leader and a core part of the team. She is patient on the puck and makes the right plays at the right time. Other defensive options are Sarah Taylor, who is Solents' franchise player, ranks 2nd all-time point scorer for the club, and has played over 100 games with the Amazons. Courtney Atkins, who made her debut in 2015, and young rookies, Edie Burgess and Selena Sengunda. In goal is Charlie Thisby, who has made 38 appearances over the past 4 seasons and posted a .896 save percentage last year. Backing her up will be Rosa Kosovic, who spent last season with Southampton Spitfires in the British University League. Not everyone is returning from last season, though. Exciting teenager Cadence Deer has left for the Firebees, while Georgie Waller will be playing for the Valkyries development side, and Romanian-born Iona Gadgia is moving to Canada. Speedy winger Joanna Orlick, two-way player Frankie Hughes, youngster Ella Taylor and defender Olivia Wynne are also not returning for this season. Over the summer, Charlie Thisby played at the UK Charity All-Stars event in Sheffield. I managed to catch up with her while we were there, and she spoke about the exciting times ahead for the Amazons this season. Welcome to Ice Maidens, where today I am catching up with Solent Amazons goalie Charlie Thisby. First of all, Charlie, thank you for joining me.
No problems, mate. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. First time I've got a chance really to catch up with Solent, but first of all, we're here in Sheffield for the Charity All-Stars weekend. So how's that gone for you and your team so far?
So really good games today. We had a little bit of a slow start yesterday, so lost a couple out of the gate. Then went through, tied a game, won at the end of yesterday, and 2 big wins today. So fingers crossed, we'll get some good points on the board, and looking to get towards the final a bit later on today.
Yeah, champions last year as well, so you'll be looking to make that back-to-back.
I hope so. Yeah, dreams are looking strong this year. So keeping fingers crossed that we pick up points against BHF later and see dreams again in the final for another rematch of last year.
Well, best of luck with that one. Now, if we move on to next season with the WNIHL, as I mentioned in the introductions, you're part of the Solent Amazons. So exciting times for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got new league structure for this year. So we'll see most of our old favourites this year, but sadly not Cardiff. They're going up to a higher league, and not Coventry or Chelmsford either, who are going to sit in B pool. So A pool looking very similar to the strict structure from the league from last year. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to a competitive league again.
Yeah, and I mean, you hinted at 1 or 2 new names coming in, so hopefully it will make for quite a strong team for the Amazons this year. Yeah,
I really hope so. Obviously, I'm not going to say who's signing at the moment, but definitely got some big names that are have made their intentions to sign for Solent this year. So we're hoping to move up the roster and put some good points on the board. Yeah,
well, it's good to see. Obviously, a bit of a rebrand as well with some new team colours and a revamp of the logo as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the jerseys we've been playing in for the last 3 or 4 years, actually, are our 10-year anniversary jerseys. So they were designed specifically for club's 10-year anniversary, which is in 2019, so the 2019-2020 season. Of course, then we had COVID. So everything went a bit mad for a bit, and now we're in a position where we can look to go back to our original colours that the fans will be familiar with from a few years back. So back to the old black and red, and looking forward to seeing it on the ice, yeah.
Well, best of luck with that, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the ice next season and maybe catch up then. So, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks very much, Adam.
So, looking ahead to this weekend's games, incredibly, we have a staggering 17 games set to take place across this weekend. Whitley Bay Beacons host the Queen Bees at home just a week after the two sides met in Slough. This game starts at 12 noon or maybe a little bit after that, depending on the ice cut, and will be streamed live on the Beacons YouTube channel, so please do tune in for that one. The only other elite game this weekend sees Streatham host Kingston at 6:45 on Saturday, again a week after the two sides met up in Hull. In Division 1 North, Solway host Caledonia at 3 p.m, with the game likely to be on the Sharks Facebook page, so do please check their social media pages for more information on that one. The Sharks then travel to Sheffield the following day to face the Shadows at 4:40 p.m, and the Nottingham Vipers will host Kingston Diamonds at 7:05 p.m. on Sunday evening. Division 1 South sees 4 games scheduled. Firebees host Swindon in Slough at 1:10 on Saturday, with the game streamed on the Firebees Facebook page. The following day, the TopCats will host Chelmsford, with an early chance for the Wiltshire side to exact some revenge after their defeat to the Cobras earlier this month. Cardiff Comets are at home to the Firebees at 4 p.m, with the Slough-based side hoping to stream that game as well, while MK Falcons are at home to Bristol Huskies at 6:30. In Division 2 North, they have 3 games taking place, with Telford at home to Leeds on Saturday, again 1 week after the two sides met at Ellen Road. So a lot of these sort of back-to-back games, so maybe generating a bit of rivalry as well there with these back-to-back fixtures. That one has a 7 p.m. start. The following day sees Kingston at home to Caledonia at 12:30, while the Widnes Wild host Whitley Bay at 4:25. Those last 2 games should be streamed. Lee Valley Vampires are at home to Invicta Dynamics on Saturday night. That one starts at 5:30, while Haringey Greyhounds face Streatham Storm in the Cup at 6:15 in what is the first ever London derby between those two clubs. Also in the Cup, Cambridge Kodiaks host the Coventry Phoenix at 6:40. In the Under-16s League, Haringey play Bristol Puppies at 4:50 on Saturday, while the Ice Bees host Chelmsford Rattlesnakes at 3:30 on Sunday. So that's all from me for this week, but closing us out will be Solway Sharks' Lizzie Meikle with the Sharks' latest episode on Sharkette TV. This is episode 3 of the season, and it features Molly Maxwell, who's a player who's only recently got into ice hockey through the development sessions and has ultimately made the team. It's a great story. Please listen to it, and we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.
Welcome to Sharkette TV, episode 3 of the 24-25 season. And this time, I'm joined by Molly Maxwell. Molly's going to take us through a bit of her background about the ladies' development and her experience in the first few games of the season. So, firstly, we saw from your signing announcement you have quite a sporting background. Yeah. Could you give us a wee summary of what your sporting experiences have been to date? Quite varied.
Yeah, there's so many. I've always been really sporty, into sports, and I've played pretty much everything. I've done tennis. I'm a qualified tennis coach. Athletics, qualified athletics coach. I used to compete all about Scotland with athletics as well.
And sprinted for Dumfries and Galloway, was it?
Yeah, so that's crazy. We do this thing called Dumfries and Galloway Championships, and all the athletes from about Dumfries and Galloway come together and basically just race each other.
That's fantastic.
I've won that a few times. So,
that's insane.
Yeah, I know. I loved it, but it was quite sore on my knees, so I kind of had a few injuries and then decided just to give it up.
And now you're also playing football as well as ice hockey.
Yeah.
What's the team you play for now?
Newton Stewart Ladies.
Newton Stewart Ladies, yes.
So it's a newly formed team. So my uncle and my cousin are part of that. So my uncle's the coach. And
amazing.
They had a tournament in the summertime before the start of the season, and they were kind of struggling for players. And so I got a text from my cousin, "Do you think you could maybe play for us?" And then I got totally roped into it. But I'm loving it. I like watching football, but I've never really played it other than a kickabout. So,
fantastic. So, why ice hockey on top of all of that? What appealed to you to ice hockey to join that?
Well, I used to actually figure skate. So I used to be part of the Solway Skating Club. So when I was like 8, I started learning to skate. I don't know how I got into it, but me and my mum actually learned at the same time. Wow. So my mum did the adult learn to skate, and I did the like junior skate UK. And then after that, I joined development, and then I was in the skating club for a few years.
Nice one, nice one. So how did you hear about the ladies? It's got the ice hockey development.
Yeah, so me and one of my friends actually came to, I think it was the under-18 women's game.
Was that the World Championships?
Yeah, I think it was that. So we came and watched it, and then I was saying to her like, oh, you know, that looks really good, you know, like I could do that because I can skate. Yeah. And then my mum seen it on Facebook advertised that there was ladies development, and I just thought, oh, I'll go along to that.
Fantastic.
See how I get on.
So what sort of stuff did you learn through the development, and what sort of skills, or what sort of stuff did you do in development?
Well, the development's really good because they did a bit of skating, a bit of stick handling, a bit of shooting.
Was that your first time like using a puck and a stick on the ice?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd never I'd played like field hockey at school, but other than that, that was about as far as my hockey experience went. But yeah, so, and then Mo brought out this big box of kit, and I was like, oh my god, like, look at all this. So, like,
and the hockey smell associated with it.
Yeah, I know, I was putting it all on, and I was like this, ready to go on the ice. But it was great being back on the ice.
Good. And wait, so that was that literally just last year? Or was that 2 years ago? When did it? December last year?
I can't actually remember.
I think that's pretty soon. Yeah,
I think we've been going to it for like a year.
Wow. And now you're in the Div 1 team, played first 2 games. How were those first 2 games for you?
Oh, they were so good.
Sorry, let you go first.
No, I was just going to say, like, after I started like coming to the ladies' development, I went and watched some of the women's games, and so it was so like crazy to actually be part of it this time instead of watching. Yeah.
The first game was against Kingston. Maybe not all that much experience. And you got some ice time, you got some penalty box time, unfortunately as well. Sorry about that.
No, it's alright.
The second game against Nottingham, loads more ice time for you, and a win as well on top of that.
I was absolutely buzzing being able to actually go on the ice a lot more and just get some playing time.
Yeah, I must admit, from where I was on the ice, I thought you were absolutely fantastic. There was one time during the second period, you were forechecking at the other end underneath the goal line, and there was 2 Nottingham players on you, and you like had them, and you were just fighting them. I thought, that's fantastic. Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant.
I know.
Really, really well done.
It's the same with football. I just like to get stuck in there.
That's just perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. So really, really well done. So with where you are, where you started a year ago in development, now in the Div 1 team, sort of what's your hopes and even personal aspirations for the rest of this season, or personal goals?
I'd just like to get some more time on the ice, to be honest, you know, build up my experience and then hopefully improve for next year. Yeah. I'd like to maybe get an assist, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to come. I'm certain it's going to come. And final question from me. If you have any advice for anyone who's interested in maybe trying ice hockey or starting ice hockey, maybe a bit worried, what would you say to them?
Just do it. Just go for it. Honestly, the girls and everything are so nice at the ladies' development. It's a really good group. There's some that have like never skated before and want to like learn to play ice hockey, and it's just great. They're like all ages. You've got Evelyn, who's like tiny,
brilliant, isn't she?
Oh my god, good. Yeah. She's gonna be a great player one day. And then you've got like women that are like 40s, like just fancy learning to skate, and it's just great.
Truly for everybody, regardless of ability.
Totally, it's great. I would definitely suggest you sign up.
It's great. Well, thank you very much, Molly, for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
It's great, and all the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks. Thank you.
Please make sure you're following us across all social media platforms
to keep you fully up to date with all things WNIHL.
On Facebook,
follow Ice Maidens, the voice of women's ice hockey,
and check out the website at icemaidens.wordpress.com.
On Instagram and on Twitter,
you can find the podcast
at ZPG Ice Maidens,
and for YouTube,
you can subscribe to Zero Pucks Given.
Please like, follow, share and subscribe.
It all does wonders for spreading the good word
of the ZPG network.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.